What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Money's Funko Pops. I'm, of course, Money, and I'm up early this morning to make this video because I have a lot of thoughts as to what went down last night for San Diego Comic-Con 2020 with Funko's Virtual Con 3, and apparently they still have not learned from their previous mistakes. Now, I have thought about doing all sorts of different videos regarding what happened last night. I still think I'm going to go ahead and do one of my Funko Collector in a Nutshell videos, which, if you guys aren't familiar with that segment that I do here on the channel, it looks something like this.
Here's another one, you fucking nerd!
But I wanted to come on here the day after and kind of talk about my thoughts about what happened last night, how my experience went, and kind of what I think Funko did wrong, and how I think they could have changed it. Now, I'm very well aware that I am not the only person who had issues last night. It seems as if the entire community had issues last night trying to check out exclusives and stuff. So the first thing I wanted to say is that it's kind of frustrating that Funko hasn't learned from the first two virtual cons. I was a lottery winner for Emerald City Comic Con, so I was able to actually get in there before everybody else was. Although my checkout experience was easy for Emerald City, for WonderCon it was an absolute disaster. Then we went ahead and got to the Dwight holding the Princess Unicorn doll, and that was a fucking disaster as well. I mean, Funko handled that poorly. And then going into San Diego Comic-Con, I think we all were a little skeptical because these virtual cons that they've been doing really were not holding up to any sort of good standard. But last night was an absolute disaster. I'm not going to go ahead and recap all of the events for you because I'm assuming that a majority of the fan base was in there living it, but it was just so frustrating. I think the first frustrating thing for me was that when we were in checkout and the shipping information was just rolling over and over and over again, Funko tweeted a graphic of, we're fixing the database or whatever it said. And there was this little glitched out graphic of all sorts of different Funko Pops sort of spliced together to emulate a glitch. And that's kind of shitty in my opinion because that means that it had already been pre-made. Funko had that graphic ready to go knowing that there was going to be issues. And on one hand, you could argue that Funko was just trying to be prepared in the event that something went wrong. But if they couldn't handle Princess Unicorn Dwight one pop going live, then how on earth did we expect them to be able to handle 50 pops going live in one shot? What Funko should have done was gone back and harnessed some of that energy from 2018's San Diego Comic-Con, where every hour they dropped a pop, or they dropped two pops. This was the year of Scott Pilgrim's Roxy, the Ren and Stimpy 2-pack. It was that purple and yellow sticker from 2018. And every hour they went ahead and they dropped a random pop. Now, I'm not suggesting that it should have been random, but what they could have done was that every morning they could have tweeted or posted, hey, tonight your Marvel, your Harry Potter, and your Pokemon pops are going to go live. And then those are the pops that would go live. And then the next day they could tweet, okay, guys, your anime, your ad icons would go live that night. So you'd be able to know, like, this is what's going to go live that night. And that would have taken some stress off of the servers because for me, I wasn't after ad icons. I wasn't after Harry Potter. I wasn't after the Anchorman pops. All I wanted was my flocked Pokemon and my Wallace from Scott Pilgrim. And I had to wait for 45 minutes to check out. And then even after I was done checking out, I didn't know if my order went through because I got this screen after I added my pops to my cart. So for example, I had added 6 things to my cart. I added my 2 flocked Pokemon, Wallace from Scott Pilgrim, Black Lightning just for shits and giggles. I knew that there was no way in hell that I was going to try and get that, but I figured I would try. I added Dwight with Princess Unicorn, and then I added Ripley from Fortnite. So those are the 6 things that I added to my cart. By the time everything was spinning, it told me that flocked Vulpix and, of course, Black Lightning were sold out. But I didn't expect Vulpix to sell out that quick. I mean, the flocked Pichu and Eevee from WonderCon were a couple of the first items to sell out, so I guess that kind of makes sense. So don't you think that flocked Mewtwo would have sold out first? I thought that was kind of interesting. People were posting their screens over and over again because once you got to shipping info, it was saying these items in your cart had sold out. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get Black Lightning, but I had a couple friends who were trying to get it, so I thought that I'd try and help out, but I kind of knew that that was a pipe dream. Then everybody got stuck in shipping calculation, which I think was honestly part of the queue process. I'm not necessarily sure that they were actually calculating shipping info. What I think that was is kind of like, okay, let's get them into that screen and then hold them up there while we kind of process people one by one, or maybe in batches of like 50 or something like that. but I think that it was wrong for them to do, because if they were offering free shipping on orders over $50, which I think a majority of fans were getting more than 3 pops, which would bring you over that $50 threshold, then why were we calculating shipping info in the first place? And I've talked numerous times here on the channel that I think Funko needs to bring back more exclusivity, and they need to bring back more harder to get things and more piece counts, and I still believe that. My issue isn't with that this stuff was hard to get. My issue with this is that it was impossible to get because the website just didn't break. If the website went smoothly and I missed out on my flocked Mewtwo, I would be upset, but I would get it because that's how it needs to be. There needs to be things that are hard to get. However, if I don't even get the opportunity to check out because the website isn't working, it just doesn't really seem like that's all that right. And I know that I do a lot of humorous content here on the channel. I don't like to do a lot of like serious videos where I sit here and I shit talk Funko, because I do believe that it's a great company and they do a lot of great things. But last night was just so frustrating for me that I really had to come on here and kind of just express some of my thoughts about it. And like I said earlier on in this video, guys, I still do plan on doing a Funko Collectors in a Nutshell video for VirtualCon 3, probably earlier next week. It'll be here on the channel. And I think it'll be funny. I'm already brainstorming some ideas and I'm really looking forward to making it. But this is kind of a serious video that I wanted to make just to express my thoughts and opinions. I hope you guys were able to get something at the least. I know a lot of exclusives are going on the secondary market now for a lot of money. And I just hope you guys are able to get what you want. I know I missed out on a couple things myself that I'm kind of looking to try and get. So hopefully everybody's able to work out what they need. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. How did you feel about the Funko Shop drop? Were you able to get what you wanted? Did you miss out on your most sought after item? And how do you think Funko can fix this going forward? Do you agree with me that they could have done like a 10 a day sort of system? Make sure you guys drop me a comment down below and let me know how your Funko Shop VirtualCon 3 experience was. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you soon. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate your support. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more content that I post here to the channel. Down below me, there are 2 different videos. You have my suggestion, which is the video that I suggest you watch, or you can click next video, which will take you to a video very similar to the one that you just watched. So thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you soon.